Wonderful. My name is David Perry. Welcome to the 75th anniversary of the Saving the Cable Cars, an event about the empowerment of women because women save the cable car. So how great we have a woman mayor. Let's have a round of applause. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our MC for the event, the Executive Director of the Union Square Alliance, Marissa Rodriguez. Marissa?
Thank you. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I am really excited to be here. It's a warm day. It's beautiful. We're all back together here at the Cable Car Turnaround. I'm Marissa Rodriguez. I'm the Executive Director of the Union Square Alliance. We're an organization whose mission is to create a beautiful environment for all of our members and our community. And all of you here warms our heart, especially as we celebrate this important day. We are here today to honor our cable cars. And most specifically, we're here to honor a champion, a woman in 1947, at a time when women weren't, standing up to the establishment. This woman, Friedel Klussman, fought to save our beloved cable car. And today we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of that event. And so behind me, I have some wonderful women leaders and of course male allies as well, who continue to do the hard work to save our community, to bring us back after a very difficult time, and of course to further support this very important asset to our community, our beloved cable cars. Friedel had a vision. She understood the important role our cable cars play to the fabric of our community. Not so long ago, the Union Square Alliance, then the Business Improvement District, set out to do a survey to find out, when visitors come to San Francisco, what do they want to see? Well, those bells behind us tell you they actually want to see the cable car more than visit the Golden Gate Bridge. So she understood the importance of that. They wanted to take away the cable car in 1947 in the name of progress, of course, good intentions. And if you look behind you, you can see a historic monument, a super bus, as it was called in those days. This bus was supposed to replace our cable cars, but Friedel said no way. I want to thank the Market Street Railway Association for bringing us this landmark, but also for bringing us this day. I want to thank Rick Lobsher, who I know is here somewhere. Rick, wave your hand, thank you. It is Rick's leadership and his organization and his team that brought us here today. I want to thank also the Union Square Alliance and my team as well. I think I see folks from our team. Yes, I do. I think I saw Ben Horn, if you'll shake your hand, and Stacy Jett, I saw her too, and our other team members as well. I see Tania, I see Ava, I see Zarina. It takes a village to do so much for our community. I also want to acknowledge the strong women leaders behind us, and you're going to hear from some of them today. But before I go through the list, I want to acknowledge individuals here, starting with Julie Kirschbaum, the Director of Transit for SFNTA. Thank you for coming. Shauna Dom, Senior VP of the SF Giants. Thank you so much. Ashley Goschneier, the General Manager of the One Hotel, San Francisco, across from the Ferry Building. I believe she's here as well. Lori Lincoln, the VP of Global PR for San Francisco Travel. Tracy Everwine, Executive Director of the Mid-Market and Civic Center CBD. Don't know she's here. Carmen Clark, Board Chair of the Market Street Railway. Darcy Brown, Executive Director of San Francisco Beautiful. Sina von Riedstein, President, Fisherman's Wharf CBD. I saw you earlier, yes. Melita Isa, VP, Marketing, Jamestown. Thank you for being here. Did I mention Lily Ho as well, representing the Chinatown Merchants Association? I see Mandy Hall as well. Thank you for being here with SF Travel and our ambassador program. Karen Flood, thank you for being here as well, my predecessor at the Union Square Alliance. And now to pivot to our male allies. I see Rodney Fong here from the chamber waving. He can't help but laugh. We have Jeff Tumlin, Director of Transportation for SFMTA. I also see Alex Bastian hiding in the corner there from the Hotel Council. Thank you for being here. Roger Marenko, where are you? Behind me. Hi, Roger. Thank you. The President of Transport Workers Local 250A. Thank you for being here. Randall Scott, the Executive Director of the Fisherman's Wharf CBD. He's tall enough. There he is. Yep, thank you. David Lewin. I saw him here earlier. Not only a board member of the Union Square Alliance, but also the General Manager of the Grand Hyatt Hotel. I think he's in the back. Mark Vanderweilen, Area GM for the Viceroy Hotels and Resorts. Is Joaquin Torres here? I know he's on his way. The Office of the Assessor Recorder, our Assessor Recorder. All right, without further ado, I want to welcome a very special guest, someone who really needs no introduction, but what is really important is that this San Francisco native certainly understands and loves our cable cars. She is someone who's fighting the fight every day for our city as we come out of a very difficult time. We are super fortunate to have her here today to acknowledge this most important day. I want to welcome up our Mayor, London Breed.
Hello, hello. Is this a microphone? Which one is the microphone for this?
They're all microphones.
Okay. I know they're all microphones, but
only one where you can actually hear the sound. Well, thank you, everyone. I am really grateful to be here today to celebrate this historic occasion. And when we talk about San Francisco as a whole, we always talk about how resilient San Francisco is because of our ability to not only survive through earthquakes and pandemics, but our ability to thrive. And during the late 1800s, the inventor of the cable car, it was said that they invented the cable car as a result of seeing the horse and carriage struggle up San Francisco hills. And what a challenge it was. And so this cable car came to be, and as a result, San Francisco, I think, because of this and so many other incredible inventions and milestones, has been known as this innovative city, a place where things are created, a place where people look to for ideas. And I want to thank Market Street Railway for protecting and supporting and engaging and making sure that history is not forgotten. Today, we celebrate 75 years of saving the cable cars in our city. Friedel Klussman, who we know in 1947 when the mayor in that year, Mayor Roger Lampman, said, we are going to change, we're going to get rid of cable cars, and we're going to bring in, other transportation options. And she stood up during a time when oftentimes women were ignored and neglected. And she said, no, I'm going to pull together all my girlfriends, and we're going to stop the cable car from being really vanished in our city. And as a result, she fought and she won, and the cable cars remained. And then in 1979, our first woman mayor, Dianne Feinstein, she not only raised private money because of how much it cost to create this system and to enhance it. She raised private dollars matched with federal dollars, matched with city dollars, and it should be attributed to her as well, the fact that the cable cars are still here today. Now, why is that history important? As you heard from Marissa Rodriguez, one of the things that people talk about most when they visit San Francisco is, where are the cable cars? How can I get on the cable cars? This line on Powell Street is always packed with people who are waiting hours in some cases to ride the cable cars, to see our beautiful hills and the beautiful views and what makes San Francisco one of the most iconic cities anywhere in the world. I remember during the pandemic and how we had to make some changes in our city. And changes included closing down temporarily the cable car. And Jeff Tumlin, who's the director of the MTA, he knows we had these conversations on a regular basis. Everyone's asking me, when are the cable cars coming back to San Francisco? We are inviting visitors back to San Francisco, but one of the biggest disappointments was when they showed up, Karen Flood, and they were like, what happened to the cable car? When are the cable cars opening? Well, the cable cars are open, and what that demonstrates to so many of us is how important they are. How our transit operators, and thank you, Roger, for being here, from labor, how our transit operators show up every single day to give people, not just visitors, but San Franciscans, a wonderful, iconic experience, rain or shine. And so today we celebrate this milestone. We celebrate women. No, it's not Women's History Month, but we are celebrating women nevertheless, and the advocacy of women and what women represent and what we bring to the table in terms of our leadership and our involvement in our transportation network. Because even though there might be a man that runs MTA, there is a woman who runs our transportation authority, and there are a lot of women that work behind the scenes to get this work done. And so we honor their work, but we also honor the legacy of those who came before us to make sure that this iconic cable car remains an important part embedded in the quality of life that exists in San Francisco. So thank you all so much for joining us here today. And with that, I'd like to introduce Gwyneth Borden, who is a commissioner on the MTA, who works really hard to help create transportation opportunities that work for all San Franciscans. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gwyneth Borden.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. As Mayor Bree mentioned, I'm Gwyneth Borden. I'm chair of the SFMTA Board of Directors, and I can't tell you what a beautiful and amazing day this is. It always takes women advocating for themselves, advocating for their families, and advocating for their community. Women have always stood up in injustice. They've always stood up when there's a time to save things. And I think we often think progress means leaving things behind that we deem to be old-fashioned. Obviously, Friedel Klussman understood the role of cable cars and why they fit in our overall transportation system, not only at that moment, but also as part of our future. As Mayor Breed also mentioned, it took another woman, Dianne Feinstein, to make sure that the cable cars could continue to exist and thrive. I feel so fortunate to chair an agency that has such an iconic identity, not only in San Francisco, but across the globe in the cable cars. I remember a few years ago, we were doing some work on the lines, and we got letters from people from all over the world saying, I'm coming to San Francisco for the first time from Australia or Germany, and my lifelong dream is to ride the cable car. Can you please stop the work so I can visit the cable car when I'm there? I mean, that's how iconic it is. And I remember when I was in my 20s and I lived on High between Washington and Jackson, and I took the cable cars every day. I took the California line down to Montgomery Street, and I knew all the gripmen, and they would like to see all the locals, because that California line, you know, people running down from Pack Heights to catch it at Van Ness, and then others along Hyde, and they would know all the regulars, and there was such a community, because people think of cable cars only for visitors, but the California line is very much a locals line. All the gripmen know the regulars. They try to wait a few minutes to let you get on. Then I also loved sometimes walking here and taking the cable car home, because it was right at the corner of my block. And whenever I would get off at Hyde and Jackson, I'd be like, I live here. When everyone else is looking at me like, who's getting off? Anyway, the point is that cable cars are special and iconic. You know, Maya Angelou, the great Maya Angelou, was a grip person on the cable cars. And I want to thank all of our gripmen and operators, our grip women who operate our cable cars, because they are a crucial face of the city to the world. So I want to thank everyone for being here today. I want to thank Friedel Klussman specifically for her leadership. And you know, we have to keep the cable cars thriving for now and to the future. So thank you so much, Rick, for organizing this and your tireless advocacy for this. Do we have one of our wonderful women, gripmen? Come on forward. Yes! These ladies. This is what it's about. Continuing to empower women.
Yeah, first. Thank you.
Y'all ladies want to say something? I know this is off script, but...
Okay, yes, you have to, Willa. Willa's a strong woman here. She's been gripping our cable cars now for About 15, 12 years. 12 years straight, grip on it right here. So, and I've been conducting them for a while as well. So she's the front, I'm the back. And we've been here for, how long have you been here?
I've been here 13 years.
She's been here 13, I've been here about 20. And we're still here by the grace of God. And we love our jobs. And thank you.
We thank you for being the face of San Francisco to the world.
Thank you so much, Gwyneth. And I also want to let everyone know, hashtag SF Cable Cars. Take photos and please hashtag. I do now see our assessor recorder, Joaquin Torres. Thank you for joining us. Round of applause. We also have from the Chinatown Community Development Center, Jane Chin, as well as Fadi Zubi. He's also a commissioner with DPW. Up next, I'm happy to welcome from SFMTA as well, a partner in preserving and enhancing our public transit, Tilly Chang.
Thank you so much, Marissa. Good morning, everyone. Is this the right one? Oh, sorry. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Mayor Breed, Chair Rodriguez, Borden, and Clark, and honored guests. Thank you for including me, Tilly Chang, Executive Director of the San Francisco County Transportation Authority. Thank you for including me and our agency in this wonderful event celebrating our treasured cable cars, as well as pioneering women, including Friedel Klussman, of course, who saved our city treasure 75 years ago. A civic activist, she took on a male-dominated government and business community to save the cable cars, one of our most precious gems, recognized around the globe. And as Mayor Breed said, there's no wonder National Geographic just named San Francisco one of the top destinations for 2023. Yet another list that San Francisco is on. So Frieda mobilized other women, such as these behind us, who joined her campaign to protect the cable cars and speak out for the causes they believed in. And thanks to her efforts, a 1947 ballot initiative to save the cable cars won in a landslide. I think 3-1, based on what I read on the sign. Now, I'm honored to be part of this all-women lineup of speakers celebrating this pioneering act of women-led civic activism 75 years ago. And you may not know, but the Transportation Authority has been around for about half that long, and one of our former executive directors is here today, Carmen Clark, the chair of the Market Street Railway. So I'm very honored to be one of her successors, as well as to work with colleagues like Jeffrey Tumlin, Director of Transportation, as well as Julie Kirschbaum. Again, a round of applause for our Director of Transit, Julie. Now, as Rick Lobsher, thank you, Rick, for noting in your Market Street Railway, our cable car system was highlighted as high-tech, right, back then, as Mayor Breed said, to replace the horse-drawn carriage. And they're still a marvel today. They're both iconic and functional. We couldn't get through our daily lives and our tourism without it. Now, we've had the pleasure of the Transportation Authority to support the cable cars over the years, providing over $35 million, such as the local match that Mayor Breed mentioned, to pull down those big federal dollars. As you know, the infrastructure bill passed last year, the leadership of President Biden, Vice President Harris, Congress. We have Leslie Rogers here, former regional administrator for the Federal Transit Administration, really helping us to secure those big dollars. And we've got to appreciate our Speaker Nancy Pelosi, for helping us win those big federal grants. And as a reminder, more funds are included in the Transportation Sales Tax Measure Prop L on the ballot. We, again, have provided over $35 million. That is matched 10 times that much in other funds. And we must keep this going. It is before the voters in a couple of weeks, just to let folks know. And it's indeed a pleasure and honor to help preserve our cable cars for future generations, our pride and joy, and a distinct product of women's leadership. Here's the next 75 years of cable cars in San Francisco.
Thank you so much, Tilly. And let's keep the spirit of Friedel Klussman alive. Let's fight the fight for our cable cars from now until forever. Let's hop on a cable car, ride it halfway to the stars, to the other end, to Fisherman's Wharf, to keep the party going, where my counterpart, where are you again? Randall Scott and the Fisherman's Wharf CBD team have something for us there. So thank you so much for joining us. Another round of applause for our mayor, all our esteemed guests, and the cable car. Thank you.
car, right? All right, you gonna drive us? Let's do this. Show them what you work.
He's the maternal uncle of Christopher Lloyd, the guy who played
Oh,
Dusty.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, you don't really have time either. Yeah. Let's go.